And what in heaven's name brought you to Casablanca?
My health. I came to Casablanca for the waters.
The waters? What waters? We're in the desert.
I was misinformed.
He taught me, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
You're tearing me apart!
What?
You say one thing, he says another, and everybody changes back again!
It is the Al Travis Show, and we've got her. Happy to have her. Hello there, stranger.
Well,
it's
hello.
Katie with Life with Katie. How are you?
I'm good, but I'm so glad you're wearing a shirt with your name on it, so I remember who you are.
I wear a shirt with my name on it every day. And that was funny. I went to, no, maybe it's not funny. I went to the Ag Expo yesterday up in Mankato. I was invited to go by the farm guy. I said, yeah, I would go. And I'm standing there, got my little fedora hat on, is what I wear whenever I go outside. And I had my logo, just the shirt that I wore when I worked. And this gal comes over, chatting. She's just kind of between my hat and my shirt. And she goes, oh, that's so adorable. You got the hat on. Look just like your shirt. I said, okay. Just didn't even think about it, but that's where it was. So it's quite adorable, actually. And I presume you already know that. How adorable that is.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. You were gone a long time.
I was gone a long time.
How long? What's the longest vacation you've ever went on?
I think this is it.
Was it 2 full weeks?
No, it's 3.
Good golly. All right, 3 weeks, and do you mind telling us where you all went? Because except for Casablanca, which was in the opener, I think you went everywhere there. You were over there doing everything.
We were all over the place. We started in Taipei, and we spent 2 days in Taipei. And let me see if I can list off where we went. We went to Hong Kong. We had 2 stops in the Philippines. We went to Malaysia. We went to Vietnam. We had 2 stops in 2 different places in Thailand. And then we finished up with 2 days in Singapore.
Just a quick question.
And for all the people who are going, that's not 3 weeks. It takes like 2 days to get there, 2 days to get home. And then there were 5 days at sea. So
this was a cruise. You cruised all these places. Is that it?
We did.
Are you a cruiser? Or do you like to cruise?
I do like to cruise.
Is this your first, or have you done this before?
Done before.
And you do like it. See, I
like
you're
it.
either way on it or you're not. And my wife and I have talked about it. Anniversary, let's go on a cruise. I don't see the claustrophobicness of it being that close to a bunch of other people for long periods. I don't know that I could do it. But you don't have a problem with it. Okay.
I don't find it claustrophobic. And
I just mean if your entire city all got together on one bus, you might all have a seat and you have a cabin, but is there a deck where I could literally sit alone and look at the sunset and smoke a cigar, or like 500 other people doing the exact same thing?
Well,
and that's what I mean.
It depends on where you go. We had our own balcony, so you could, but you can't sit and smoke a cigar on your balcony.
What?
So no,
is this America or not?
It's not. It was the.
Oh, okay.
As a matter
of fact, that was a horrible question. All right, so just out of curiosity, you've always wanted to go Asia, that sort of thing. Was that on your bucket list? How did you pick those places? If you ask somebody, where would you like to go if you can go anywhere? Taipei? I don't know how many people throw that out.
I, for one, never would have considered. I would not. It wasn't even on my radar of someplace I would want to go. But my sister and brother-in-law are retired, and they are big time cruisers, and they've literally cruised the entire world. And a few places they haven't been is those Asia countries. And so, gosh, almost a year and a half ago, they said, you know what, we're doing an Asia cruise, January of 2026. Would you like to come with? And I said, really?
What's the cruise line for an Asian cruise? Is that Carnival? That's the only ship I can think of the top of my head.
We happen to be on Norwegian Cruise Line.
Okay. All right. Curiosity's sake, because 2 things you hit me. You went with your brother and your sister and brother-in-law, right?
Yeah.
And you like them. You go down, you golf with them down in Arizona. How is 3 weeks with them? And it sounded like you had a shared balcony, which you cannot smoke cigars on, which is so anti-American. But you couldn't smoke. But so same quarters? It would be a little weird for me to sit with my sister-in-law for 3 weeks in the same room as my wife. It would be weird. Sorry.
Well, yeah, that would be weird. No, we actually there were six of us who went.
Oh,
Couple friend of my sister and brother-in-law, then my sister and brother-in-law, and then my friend, a girlfriend
okay.
of mine, and I went. And so we had three separate rooms right in a row.
Okay.
Ding, ding.
Okay.
But the thing I wondered about, and no, we got along great
Okay.
because we had like, okay, at 9:50, do whatever you want, but at 9:15 we're meeting for trivia. Then we went up for breakfast. Then we went about our day. So we spent time with them, and then we did
Okay.
some excursions with them. Some we did just Carissa and I. One I did all by myself. Um,
And that was planned that way because, or was there somebody who took over I'm the cruise ship director here. I'm Julie. Was it Julie back in the Love Boat days? And we're going to meet at 9:15. Go do what you want. You have an hour and a half to get ready. Was there somebody like that, or was it just every day? I don't know. When I went to Puerto Vallarta with the family, I told them straight up, you guys do what you want to do. But other than maybe one boat trip, I want to sit and do nothing. That's vacation for a while, and it seems boring. Was there one of those in that group, or is it, hey, we're in Taipei, you got to go to the Taipei thing, got Taipei, got to get on the little rickshaw, I got to go. Was it all planned out, or did you get to really speak up and say, I'm sitting on the boat today?
there was a lot of it was planned, and then there was a lot of free time too. Because my sister and brother-in-law travel so much, they have a thing where when they're flying to another country, they get there 2 days before the cruise leaves. So then they spend time in the city that they're going to so that
Okay.
they can find out about it, learn about it, and that kind of stuff. And they have a kind of a pattern that works really well. So my brother-in-law had two tours set up for us in Taipei when
Oh,
we got there. That was ready to go. He had one set up in Singapore, and then
wow.
we had the Meals at Sea. Is that what it's called? Meals at Sea, the dining package for
Okay.
the specialty dining package for 5 nights.
Okay.
And he made the reservations for the 5 nights of
Okay.
specialty dining we did. And then every time they cruise, and the other people that were with us have gone on a bunch of cruises with my sister and brother-in-law, and every cruise has with Norwegian Cruise Line apparently has trivia at 9:15. So that's just become their thing. At 9:15, we
Oh,
go and do trivia. And then at 5:30, it was either 4:30 or 5:30, depending on when the time for all aboard. We either met at 4:30 or 5:30 for cocktails in the Windjammer bar every night.
well,
And
let me interrupt like the trivia thing. And I keep imagining the worst case scenario. So you all get on a cruise ship, an Asian cruise trip, and you go, and there's trivia night, and you show up, and they're speaking Taiwanese, and I mean, you know what I'm saying? Was it English speaking cruise to do that? You know what I'm saying? If you're cruising that neck of the woods, you might be running in. How diverse was the crowd? And was trivia night in English?
well, trivia night was actually in the morning, which is why I went and had
Oh,
breakfast afterward.
okay.
But
Okay.
that's
Still the point.
yeah. No, well, cruise lines always have, everybody on the cruise is from somewhere. So there were
Yeah.
uh,
Well, thank
a
you.
lot of
Now
the
you think I look like ridiculous. You just said everyone was from somewhere. Okay. That
I
goes
guess
both ways,
right,
Katie.
there's a news flash for you. Um, but for whatever reason, the most of the people that were part of the entertainment for the cruise, the Julie McCoy group,
Yeah.
a lot of them were from Colombia. So there was one really rude passenger who, in the mornings, they'd be reading the trivia question, and their English isn't great. And somebody go, it's pronounced Facebook, not Facebook. And the one lady who's got, you need to learn English. And it's like,
Oh, man.
right? How many languages do you speak? So there was a little bit of that.
Okay.
But yeah, there are people from all over the place.
Here's the test. This is the true test of whether this was a great vacation or not. Would you do it again?
Would I go to Asia again?
Well, I guess you could pick other cities in there. Was it that interesting you, that culture, that you would go back and do it? I mean, I don't know how many different versions of the Asian tour there are, but would you go back that to me? And again, the cruise was 6 people, and I presume your deck you were above water. Do they have rooms below water level? Because I would just be nuts.
I I imagine they do, but I imagine that's for the
The help. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
the help.
okay.
Um, we talked about it because it was funny. Like my sister and what was your favorite stop or where would you go back to? That was a lot of things we talked about, and we all had different opinions on that. There's two places I would go back to and spend like a week on the beach,
Yeah.
but it takes
So
literally
long, dude.
it takes so long to get there that If I only had a week, I would go somewhere closer. I will say this. Nothing makes you want to come back and go, you know what? The United States really is the best country in the world, and we're so lucky to live here. Yay!
Yeah.
And make you want to have a little flag. I
Yeah.
literally, if I when we got back and landed in San Francisco and walked off the plane, had tears in my eyes. I'm like, oh, I'm so happy. I'm so glad I'm a U.S. citizen.
That is so
It
funny.
sounds lame, but
No,
it
it,
was cool.
it would things. I guess I went to New Orleans for our 10th anniversary, so 20 years ago, before the last flood, and enjoyed it. I thought it was the greatest adult vacation I've ever been on. I think it was 10 days. And I would go back to New Orleans. There was enough things. We went to an old cemetery tour. We stayed in an old Victorian house. We got to go see the jazz. I mean, there's just so much. I could go back and do that again. But I think back of a lot of the other vacations I've done and said, you know what? Been there, done that. Chicago and the Pier. I know you had the greatest date of all time in Chicago. I'm not trying to rip your fun.
We did have the greatest
But
weekend.
I don't know that I would need to go back. I've seen the Pier. I did the walk. There were too many people didn't like it. DC was another one. We did see this fall. There are too many people. It was just, I didn't like it. So, that's what I mean by whether it was really good. Would you do it again, the whole overall?
Well, and that's what I think is hard about it too, because it reminds me of DC. Okay, I went and saw the Washington Monument. It's great to see, but I don't need to see it again. Mount Rushmore, great.
No.
I think there are a lot of places like that. And if I never go to another do another tour of a monastery or a temple, I'm fine. I got it. I got the gist of it.
That is so funny. The Grand Canyon is the biggest overrated hole in the ground. I don't mean to be any people that we drove as a kid forever to get there. I want to say it was 3 days before we finally get there. And this is part of my dad, by the way. We get there, we get out, we look, it's a huge hole in the ground. You're like, wow, oh my goodness, good gosh, golly. A half hour later, everybody back in the van, and we took off for the next place. And I'm like, I don't need to see the hole in the ground again. I can see it on a postcard. I wouldn't go to just see the Grand Canyon again.
Right? It's like, okay, what's next? What else? Nope, that was it. We can drive back to Minnesota. Well, and my ex-husband used to always call it, okay, let's do the Griswold head bob. Because we got Mount Rushmore, you get out, and it's like, yep, there it is.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
do you guys want to walk up closer? Nope, I can see it from here. Do you want to go for a walk around the ground? Not really. And we all just stood there, and it was like, okay. And we got back in our car. It's like, okay,
But it's cool to say you saw it. Yeah.
yeah, and it's important to see, and it's history, and it's good to talk about the present. Nobody, my crew were like, okay, done, got it, check that off. What's next?
I had more fun on the way out there to see Wall Drug. I went to Wall Drug. I had so much more fun there than I did watching at the monument. It's like, yeah, okay, there's somebody carved that. That took a long time. That's nice.
I want to say it's a mocha. Is it mocha chip shake at Wall Drug? Is
You remember the name of the shake. See, that's funny. You and I are more alike than I know. I got to go to break. We'll be back after this and more with Katie on the Al Travis Show.
Tired of one-sided media and divisive noise drowning out your conservative values? Take back the conversation with Braver Angels. Join a grassroots movement to restore civility and find common ground without compromising your principles. As a conservative, your voice matters. Share your perspective on issues like immigration and public health in Red Blue workshops and help rebuild trust in our great nation. Be a leader in depolarizing America. Sign up for free at mn.braverangels.org. Braver Angels, where conservatives, liberals, and independents unite for a stronger republic.
There's never a good time for car trouble, especially when you've got places to be. Whether it's a mysterious rattle under the hood or just time for that routine oil change, you need a mechanic you can trust. That's where Jay's Auto in Blue Earth comes in. From strange noises to engine diagnostics, Jay and his team provide honest service at a fair price. They're proud to keep their neighbors on the road safely season after season. Don't wait for a breakdown. Stop at Jay's Auto today or call 525-1052.
amongst friends. The Al Travis Show. Nothing but talk.
All right, we're talking with Life with Katie. He just spent 3 weeks on an Asian cruise. This sounds stupid, and I know that, but I don't know the answer, so that's why I'm going to ask it anyway, and people can say, you're an idiot, Al.
Well,
How was
the answer?
Well, how was the weather? I mean, you go to places and, France in the spring has lots of rain. I don't know what the answer is to that. Now, this is pretty close to the equator, that neck of the woods, so I presume it's kind of like Texas-y weather in, it's wintertime. I mean, within the same hemisphere. Was the weather good? And the only other thing I know about weather down there is what I learned from Forrest Gump, which is most of the history that I know. And the rain came down, and then it came down. Sometimes it came down sideways. Did it rain a lot while you were there?
Yeah, it rained a fair amount.
It did.
It was cold in Taipei, which, let's be honest, it was high 50s, low 60s. So compared to 20 below, I mean, it's all relative. But it was more chilly there and in Hong Kong. And then in the other places, it was in the low 70s, then up to 85, and then real humid. And then it's like, oh, imagine that. It's the tropical rainforest. That it rains every afternoon, or my experience is most afternoons it rained. I don't know if it does that all the time, but it did. Well, we were there for a half hour, something like that. But you would expect. Who cares? You just have an umbrella,
when it came to packing for it, I guess is my point. You're packing for 3 weeks. I doubt you have a washer and dryer in each of the rooms, so you have to bring a lot of stuff. And then if it's 50 degrees and chilly, and the next day it's 80 and raining and humid. How did the cruise people tell you what to bring? How do you figure that out?
The cruise people did to some extent, because in Thailand, their queen is died back in October, and they have 90 days of mourning. So in Thailand, you were supposed to wear black, white, beige. You weren't supposed to wear bright. So we got an email about that. So we knew about that.
Oh, wow.
And then because if you're going to a temple, you had to have your shoulders covered and your knees covered. So those kinds of things you had to think about. A couple nights before we left, my friend that was going with me came over to my house. I'm like, okay, here's the stuff that I've got packed and what I'm thinking. And then we talked about what she had packed. And then we went to every place that we were going, and we looked up what the weather was going to be.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Thank God for the internet. Okay. That's cool.
Is there anything we're missing? And I think we did pretty well putting stuff together. And then because it was my girlfriend and I, you'll be surprised now, we doubled up on what we wore a couple times, but yeah, we brought it.
But there wasn't dry cleaning. Is there cleaning service in the ship that you can get that stuff done? I would have no idea.
Yeah, they do have a cleaning service. My girlfriend actually took all of her stuff towards the end and had them clean it for her.
And out of curiosity, just because I would not have, was this like an all-inclusive thing, dinner, food, drinks, and you just were on your merry way, or was it, just throwing out I have no idea what a drink costs in Asia on a ship?
Well, I'll tell you, we had drink packages, so our drinks were included. But then I'm not a beer drinker, but my sister posted a picture of beer, and I said, this beer was so good, even I'll drink it. There were two kinds of beer. One was from Taiwan, and the other one was from Singapore that I actually really liked. And they were $1 in Vietnam and those places. A beer was $1.50.
Okay. So, and you're going out, you can buy stuff. Do you bring extra room in your suitcase to bring a souvenir or two? Did you bring some stuff back? Was that cool? And I have 30 seconds.
Yes. I tried to leave room in my suitcase, and then I went through a thing of sunscreen and a thing of lotion, and then I left a pair of shoes back in Singapore. Then I'm like, who cares? And there were a couple other things that we had to leave behind to make room in our suitcase for the other stuff.
That's interesting. At the end of a boat trip, I wonder how much extra crap they got because people bought too much stuff. And I'm like, I don't need these shoes. They must just go through and say, look at all the good stuff these people left behind. I got to fly. I'm out of time. Katie, I'm happy you're back. Thanks for being here.
Thanks. It's nice to be back.
It's Life with Katie on the Al Travis Show.